talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about. Let's talk about. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about some fun and interesting topic. And so today we are talking about money matters from A to Z. My very special guest is Miss Mary A. Floyd, and finances is one aspect or one dimension of wellness that oftentimes is maybe overlooked, although it's very important to our wellness. So I'm excited about having this conversation tonight. So before I bring Mary on, I want to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on my personal LinkedIn page. And I want to hear from you. What city and state are you tuning in from? We want to give you a shout out. And this is an interactive live. So your comments, your questions are very much so welcome. So I see you, Miss Brittany. Long time no see. Thank you for being here. She's here in Tallahassee. My mom in Miami. Love you, Ma. Thank you for being here. Miss Lisa Herring Myrick. Greetings, sis. She says, show me the Monday. Yes, ma'am. Right here in Tallahassee, Florida. I appreciate you being here. Latavius Keaton in Tallahassee. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you so much. Please like, please share, let folks know they need to be on here because we definitely have an intriguing and interesting conversation about money matters A to Z for you this evening. So before I bring Mary on, I want to say that we are premiering season 13 of Conversations with Nicole. This coming Friday. Yay, yay, yay. 13 seasons on July 19th at 9 a.m. on Conversations with Nicole YouTube, as well as the Greater Words Network Facebook page. And so we are kicking off the season with Miss Princess Osley, who is the founder and CEO of Elite Strategies. And actually today is Princess's birthday, so we're gonna give her a shout out, a happy birthday, early birthday. And my birthday is Saturday, so I need y'all to watch these shows. Like, tune in on Friday like never before. Okay, we need all the support we can get, so y'all can wish me a happy birthday by tuning in on Friday. All right, I appreciate that. So I'm gonna go ahead and share Miss Mary's bio. Mary A. Floyd is a distinguished finance subject matter expert, renowned for her dedication to community service and financial empowerment. As the owner of Delta Life Insurance and Financial Services Group and founder and CEO of Dynamite Kids, Inc., Mary exemplifies a profound commitment to securing financial legacies and fostering empowerment. With licenses as a life insurance broker in 5 states, Mary brings a wealth of expertise in financial planning and wealth management. Her co-authorship of multiple books, including Money Matters A to Z, hence our topic tonight, series, and Using Life Insurance as a Wealth Planning Tool, underscores her passion for promoting financial literacy. A proud alumna of Troy State University and the Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University, go Rattlers. Uh, Capella University and Florida State University College of Law. Go Knowles. Mary combines over 24 years of experience across social, human, and financial services sectors. Her guiding principle is never spend money until your money has made money twice. Reflects her commitment to prudent financial stewardship and long-term prosperity. Y'all help me welcome Miss Mary A. Floyd. Yay!
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome, welcome. How are
Thank you
you?
for having me. I'm well, thank you.
Good, 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 good. Glad to have you. So, before we get started, I want to know who is Mary A. Floyd? Not what you do, but who are you in your own words?
Yes, ma'am. So, Mary A. Floyd is a mother. I am a grandmother of one, mother of two. I have a daughter. She's 27. My son's 15. My grandson, who is also co-author of Money Matters A to Z, he's 6. Um, I am a I love to read. I love to spend time with family, and I love to play spades.
Oh, well, there you go. Any spades players in the house? All right, very good. Well, again, thank you for being here. We have
Thank
quite
you.
a few people that are chiming in. Miss April Ivory in Tallahassee, thank you for being here. Brother Malcolm Peterson in Tallahassee, and Miss Lisa is saying, hello, Miss Mary.
Hey, Lisa.
Indeed. So I'm going to ask you, what kind of prompted you to go into the financial services arena?
Well, I understand that money matters. It truly does matter.
Mhm.
And without it, it just, life already life. It's gonna life regardless. But if you have financial burdens, then that's just gonna make things a little more difficult for you.
Mhm.
And my thing is, like, I didn't learn a lot about finances while I was growing up because my parents and their parents didn't know much about it.
Mhm.
But, being in the various roles that I've had professionally, I've seen what poverty looks like, what lack of finances looks like. And, like, even with um, the governor in the state of Florida recently passing the bill for high schoolers to take a half a credit of personal finance as a graduation credit, it's still missing the K through 8
Mm.
age range.
Mhm.
So, just wanted to do a little more to start, the next generation out a little earlier than we did.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, very good. Tracy Golay just joined us. Hey, Tracy, thank you for joining us. So, Money Matters A to Z, and you're author as well, as it was mentioned in the bio. So, talk a little bit about your books, which I know your grandson co-authored one of them. So, talk a little bit about your books, and I think you also have them there so you can show them to us. But tell us a little bit about your books and where we can find them.
Okay. So this is Money Matters A to Z, the
Okay.
ABCs of Financial Literacy for Kids.
All right.
And this book, we basically, my grandson and I, who was 5 at the time, we went through the ABCs and we incorporated some concept of finances with every letter. So we teach kids that A doesn't always have to stand for apple, it could actually stand for asset. We talk to them about what an asset is, give an example, and then AJ has his advice for every letter.
Mm.
It's the book has colorful illustrations,
Yes.
and it's broken down in the simplest form so that our babies can get it. We also,
And what
yeah,
age group would you say it's for?
I would say this the illustrations are good for K through 5.
Okay.
Definitely second through fifth if
Mm.
you're linking it with the standards of Florida.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we've created a curriculum as well and broken it down based off of the letters and what standard that flows with.
Love it. Love it. Okay, wonderful. All right. And your other books?
So after my grandson and I wrote this book, and we got great return from it, parents were like, we wish we would have known about these things prior to, and then we could have been teaching our kids. We even had some adults saying they learned stuff in the book that they didn't know. So
Mm,
what I did was I went back and I created a parent's guide. So
okay.
here is Money Matters A to Z. It's a step-by-step roadmap for parents.
Nice.
And this book goes into detail, and it also is like a companion for the kids' book.
Okay.
So it teaches the parents how to read along with this book in and the kids' book. It also provides additional information, a little more, advanced than the kids' book,
Hmm.
teaching parents that don't just open a savings account for your kids, but open a high yield interest savings account so the money grows with your child.
Mm,
We provide a lot of extra resources
hmm.
and tools in that book for parents and caregivers.
Nice, nice, nice. I love it. Okay.
And then you want to do the other
Yeah.
book now? And then hold on one second. The last book is using life insurance as a wealth planning tool.
Okay.
In this book, I talk about how, a lot of times if we get insurance, it's going to be term. If we get insurance, it's going to be just enough to bury us or,
Hmm.
that final expense. But we've been missing out because we haven't been utilizing life insurance to, to use as we are alive. You can actually use your life insurance policy, if it's structured correctly, to do retirement, to
Mm.
become your own bank, for investing. Like there are so many ways you can use life insurance. So we basically talk about all of that in this book as a comprehensive guide. And that also, this book also has additional resources available.
Okay, very good. So, three-time author, I love that, and those books sound amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we have a few more folks that have joined us. Cherise, happy Wednesday. She's in the Atlanta area. Mr. Tony Graham, who is here in Tallahassee area. Dr. Eduardo Williams, thank you for being here. And Lisa said, awesome. Yes, yes,
Thank you.
awesome. So let's talk money matters. Money. It's a complicated situation sometimes, right? Especially when people feel like they have not much of it. Well, they might not have much of it, but we have also maybe seen people that didn't have much, but were able to do maybe to save or do some things to make their dollars stretch. So, why? Let's talk about why money matters, and
Mhm.
where would you like to start in terms of this financial wellness discussion?
Well, for starters, we can talk about budgeting. It's
Okay.
important to know how much you have coming in,
Mhm.
and know how much you have coming in, know what your expenses are, and know how much you want to save. Um, I'm a firm believer in profit first.
Hmm.
And with that mindset, it's like, oftentimes we'll get paid and we just pay bills first, right?
Hmm.
And then we take whatever's left over to do something for ourselves.
Okay.
One of my philosophies is when you get your paycheck, you can designate a certain percentage to go to you off top.
Mhm. Okay.
So if you want to start with 1% of whatever that paycheck is or whatever, that you put that in your personal account, and you do whatever you need to do. If you pay tithes, pay your bills, whatever. But at least you took what was for you off the top.
Okay.
uh, and it keeps you in a it keeps you from being put in a situation where you have to scramble to pay bills, or it's like, I paid everything, now what about me? You took
Right.
care of you first.
So is there a good rule of thumb as it relates to how much you should set aside for yourself?
So it depends. I think there's no one size fits all for it, because I think a lot of times if we try to do like the 20, 30, 50 rule for everybody, that's not going to work for somebody who has a little.
Mhm.
So I would definitely say if you want to start, I know 1% sounds low,
Mhm.
but if you start with that and then you take it up as maybe 1% can go to 10% or 1% can go to 5% and
Okay.
see how you could do it. But definitely paying yourself first, because we weren't taught to do that.
Right. So I think most importantly is just getting in the habit of it. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So if it is 1%, just make sure you are consistent with every paycheck. I'm gonna put aside 1%.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
then once you start getting, in the habit of putting that 1% aside, you're going to see your account start to grow. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm disciplined enough to do 1%. Let me try to do 5%.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm gonna pull the viewers in. How many of you all have a savings plan that you are working consistently? And when I say working it consistently, I mean you are doing it consistently. How many of you have a savings plan? Again, safe space for us to communicate, no judgment, but let us know. I think saving is very important, but often very hard to do because we think about all of the bills we have to pay and things come up and things we want to do, would like to do, and savings is just one of those things that just kind of doesn't get tended to.
Hmm.
hmm hmm So I will say I'm getting back on track with my savings plan. One of my goals was to save something weekly. And so when the tornado hit, I had to hit my savings, but I had already started saving, so I was able to hit it. But I kind of got off track. So I'm getting back on track with that to try to replenish what I had that I had to use for repair to my home when the tornado came through in May.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And what I would say in regards to savings, a lot of times when we do save, we'll go to like the brick and mortar banks and, get a savings account. The
Mhm.
interest rate on those accounts are like 0.01%,
Right.
most at best.
Mhm.
Well, one tool I like to use is bankrate.com. You can
Hmm.
go to bankrate.com and look at the interest rates for high yield interest savings accounts, for money market accounts, for CDs, bonds. It'll let you know what the minimum balance is to keep, if there's a minimum required to open an account.
Okay.
Uh, One that I love to use is Bask Bank. You can go
Bad.
to BASKBANK.com, and the
Okay.
interest rate right now is like 5.10%. So
Hmm.
imagine your money growing at a 5.10% interest rate
Mm.
versus what it'll look like growing at that 0.01%.
Indeed. Indeed.
And a lot of times, we online banking is new to us,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So oftentimes, if we're not keeping the money under our beds and stuff like our ancestors may have, then we go get us a bank account, and then we be like, okay, we're a part of a credit union, so yes, we are doing it.
Right.
But even the interest rates at credit unions, the savings accounts can't compare to the online high yield interest savings accounts.
Gotcha. Wonderful. All right. So we got a few more folks that have joined us. Miss Jeanette, it looked like she tried to put something in there but couldn't. But today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Jeanette.
Happy birthday, Jeanette.
Yes, thank you for being here. She's down in Miami Gardens. We got Brother Kufu on with us, who's here in Tallahassee. Thank you for joining us. My sister Shayla down in South Florida. Thank you for being here, Shay. Michael Cork, what up? Who is
Hey,
here
Mike.
in Tallahassee? Appreciate you being here. And Miss Seta is also on with us, who is here in Tallahassee. And I know um finances is also all in her wheelhouse as well. She
Mhm.
says plan in place, yet with flexibility with an adjustable income, but the percentages work best. Thank you for being here, Seta. She said high yield savings accounts, heard about that recently. So yes, check
Yep.
said I'm taking notes. So far, bakery.com and baskbank.com. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping to put something out with these resources. And Cork said, I got A to Z bills. So tell me how to get this money. Yes. Well, it might not be how to get this money, but how to hold on to more of what you already have so you can use it
And make it grow.
and make it grow. Exactly. All right. So budgeting. So you mentioned profit first. Anything else we should know about budgeting?
So you want to make sure you are, like, you have a certain percentage allotted for wants, right? You want a percentage allotted for wants, for needs, and don't. I like to think about it like having multiple bank accounts. If 5% is going to go into this account for your wants, 10% goes here, whatever the percentage is that works for you.
Okay.
Divide that up into those accounts. And once that money is gone from that account, we have to be disciplined enough not to take money from another account to, compensate for our wants.
Okay.
So a lot of times we overspend, and that's how we end up in financial issues.
Very true. Very true. So be careful with that spending.
Mm-hmm.
And I think too, encouraging us to challenge ourselves with some of those expenditures and determining whether or not it really is a want or a need.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times what we'll do too is we have all of these monthly subscriptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's things we subscribed to years ago and completely forgot about. How
Yeah.
often do we actually look at our bank account or
Mm-hmm.
look at our bank statement and see what subscriptions are coming out?
Mm-hmm.
How often do we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Not often for most of us. If we did that and we just combed through everything, we would see that we could possibly save $100 to $150 monthly,
Mm-hmm.
just cutting out subscriptions.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Keisha Washington just joined us. She said, greetings, God people. She's here in Tallahassee. She said, whew, I'm overspending with other people's money. Get it together, ma'am. Get it together. Seta said, reading the book, The Richest Man in Babylon helps understand how to break out of debt. It gives me good tips on money breakdown when in debt or having flexible income. All right. Thank you for sharing that. I have to add that to the reading list. All right. And Ozzy just joined us. He's a clinician in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Thank you for being here, Ozzy. So set aside percentages of wants and needs. And, like we said, we don't want to overspend, and we definitely want to really hone in on our wants versus our needs.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes, he said psychology of money. Absolutely. All right. So budgeting. Where can we move on next? What else is a money matter that we need to be concerned with?
We can talk about investing, right?
Investing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We talked about how we can save money and how to make that money grow while saving it.
Mm-hmm.
How often do we invest, right? A lot of times we think about investing and we, feel like that's, too complicated for us to understand, or we have to have a lump sum of money before we can start. But that's not the case always. There are different apps that you could use. I use Robinhood sometimes.
Okay.
And that's a brokerage where individuals can market themselves or invest their own money and watch the stock market go up and down. But with the stocks, it's best to invest in stocks that pay dividends, right? We know the stock market is going to go up and down. So your money could go down, your money could go up. But if you get stocks that pay dividends, which is basically some stocks pay dividends every month, every quarter, or annually. Look at those stocks And, regardless of whether the market is up or down, you'll still get your dividend payment every quarter or whatever the schedule is for them. So the more shares you have for that company, you'll get X amount of dollars or X amount of cents, whatever the interest rate is on that stock, you'll get that per the amount of shares you have.
Okay.
So one I like is Global Network. Global Network Lease.
Okay.
The ticker is GNL. They currently have a dividend interest rate of like 16%, and it's only $8.65 per share.
Okay.
So there are a bunch of others that you could, use, but I would definitely say when looking at the stock market, you want to make sure you pick something that's gonna pay you regardless, and something that has shown itself to be approved for more than 50 years. So like Costco's and Walmart and Lowe's, like those stocks may be, or those shares may be a little more expensive than $8.65, but there are also companies that you can purchase fractional shares. So like if Walmart is, I don't know what it is today, if it's $300 per share, but you don't have $300, you may be able to put $50 towards a fractional share of Walmart and still capitalize on some of those dividends.
Wow. So any recommendation on guidance? I mean, I know you just gave us some tips there, but again, that might be a bit intimidating, going out and utilizing these platforms. You mentioned Robinhood to invest. When you, I don't know how long you've been buying stocks, but when you started, did you kind of start small?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm the type, I can go to Vegas, and if I lose I'm gonna get $1 worth of pennies. And if I lose that dollar, I'm done. Right. Now, I don't like losing. So what I will do, and what I would advise others to do, is research different companies that you're interested in investing in.
Okay.
Another thing is, if you use it, then invest in it. So like, if you shop at Walmart, it's probably a lot of other people who shop at Walmart, so they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. It's safe to invest there. If you shop at Dollar General, if you use it, invest in it. That's one of the things.
Okay. That's a good rule of thumb, I think. Okay, cool. All right. Anything else we should know about investing?
There are multiple ways you can, it's not just stocks. You can do bonds. The difference between a stock and a bond is stocks carry a higher risk, greater return, and bonds is safer, but the return is not as great.
Gotcha.
You have CDs, you have money market accounts. It's plenty of ways you can, invest and make money. It's all about your level of risk, what you're comfortable with.
Indeed. All right. I'm gonna try to pull these viewers in. So again, not trying to get in anybody's business, but if you're comfortable sharing, do any of you out there invest in any of the things that have been mentioned thus far? Stocks, bonds, CDs, that sort of thing. All right, let's see. Cork said, do you consult coach to help with stock investments?
I do not. I do not.
Did you see her face, Cork? Did you see her face? No, that would be a negative for Mary. No, she does not.
Yes. I have some great recommendations for you, though.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, maybe you'll share those before we get off the live or privately. Eric Sewell, he said yes. Hey, Eric, thank you for being here. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that. So we are just at about halfway through our conversation. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I am on with Mary A. Floyd. We are talking Money Matters A to Z. Mary's a 3-time author. We have been talking about budgeting, a little bit about savings, also about investing. And so this is a great topic because people are a little gun shy about finances sometimes. So, because maybe it wasn't taught in the home and not in school, and we kind of learn by the seat of our pants sometimes, which is not good. But it's all a learning experience. We got Miss Sheila Williams with us. She said, "Good question. Thank you for being here, Sheila." And Brother Malcolm said, yes, he does. Okay, thank you. And April, yes, I invest in stocks and high yield accounts. Thank you, April. All right. And Diva Locke said, good evening, all. Thank you for being here. So, all right. So, again, stocks, bonds, CDs, any other investing tools or mediums that you want to share?
Yes, investopedia.com is a great resource.
Okay, spell it.
Invest
Okay.
investpedia.com.
Okay.
So investopedia.com, you can go on there and put in any ticker or the name of a company, and it'll let you know everything you need to know about it. Put in Walmart, it'll tell you how much it is, what the dividends are that it pays, how often it pays.
Okay.
It's a great way to research the stock before you purchase.
That sounds like a great tool. All right, cool. And should you have some funds saved before you start investing, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I would say don't invest more than you're willing to lose. I know that sounds
That's a good rule of thumb too.
But don't invest more than you're willing to lose. Watch it, invest a little bit or as much as you're comfortable investing. And then once you watch that money grow, you may be like, okay, I can invest a little more. But, it's kind of like, don't lend money you can't afford to not get back. Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Eric just said emergency fund a must.
Yes.
Yes.
So with emergency funds, you want to have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up. Dave Ramsey has the tool to do, what is it? The snowball and the avalanche methods to paying off debt and all that stuff. But you definitely want to have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up.
Okay, so that comes under savings.
Yes.
Right? Savings. So 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. All right. Yeah, I think it's Financial Peace University is Dave Ramsey.
Yes.
All right. Sharice said, yes, I invest in CDs. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Seta, she has stocks and CDs. Thank you for sharing. And yes, Tony Graham, debt snowball and diversification.
And the diversification, that's a great point too, because you don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket. You want to, use some stocks, bonds, CDs. Mutual funds are amazing, right? A mutual fund is basically a group of companies wrapped in one. So if you have Apple and Walmart and Dollar General or some other companies, if they're all in one mutual fund, then let's say Walmart is not having a good day, but Apple does. That share is still gonna be doing quite well because you have others in there offsetting what may not have gone right for that day.
Yes.
So, mutual funds are safe.
All right. Mutual funds are safe. All right.
Safer than just a single stock. Yeah.
Okay. How would you research mutual funds?
You can do that on investopedia.com too.
Okay. All right.
And another key caveat with investing too is a lot of times what we do is when we see the stock market doing this, we want to take our money out, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
wrong time to take it out, especially if you know, especially if you know um, that company has been proven to come back up.
Right.
If anything, when you see the stock market going, I mean, that share going down, you want to buy more because it's been proven that it's gonna come back up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there was another piece I was gonna add too.
So I think what you're saying is key, because I think, like you're saying, if we see the stock going down, we may be um, tempted, or may think it's best to take our money out.
Yes, and another thing too is I know I try to watch the news a lot, right?
Hmm.
If we're watching CNN and they have this big story about something that happened at Walmart, and you know it's not a good story, right?
Right.
9 times out of 10, the stock market is gonna flow with the news. So if the news speaks highly of a company, that stock is about to go up. If the news has something negative about it, that's a good time to go ahead and get some of
Uh,
those shares, because it's gonna be cheaper.
Gotcha. All right. So follow the news and those trends as it relates to companies and what's going on with them, right?
Right.
Okay. Got it. All right. We got a few more folks that have joined us, so I want to definitely acknowledge them. Miss Benita, good evening. Benita Griffin said, "Hey, Mary."
Hey, Benita.
Yes, yes. And Miss Sweet Face, who is Miss Tan Lofton, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Diva Locke said, "I began teaching my son at a young age about Series 1 bonds and how now he's ready for a small investment account." Love it. Love it. Love
Yes.
it. Yes. And Miss Princess Sheely just joined us. Thank you for being here, Princess. So, okay. So, again, on the investment, and just doing a quick recap based on my notes, we got stocks, we got bonds, we got CDs, we got mutual funds. Anything else?
Money market accounts too.
Money market accounts. Okay. All right. What about real estate?
Ooh, real estate. Yes, that's one of the major things that are, when it comes to wealth building.
Okay.
Any millionaire, billionaire you know of, 9 times out of 10, they have real estate as a part of their portfolio. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The market right now, interest rates are high, and it's it's not the best time to purchase a home when it comes to the interest rates,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely, if you can get into it, it's a plus.
Okay.
It's also important to note that we should look into the not so apparent ways, like the American dream. We're gonna, get this brand new home, whatever, whatever, right? You can look into tax deed auctions, right? You can get properties for cheap at
Hmm.
tax deed auctions. I will say, like, I attended an auction in Gadsden County,
Uh-huh.
and I was able to purchase a property. Um, it was a property on 0.78 of an acre for
Okay.
$4,200.
Hmm.
$4,200. Now that home is gonna have to be torn down because it's a little dilapidated.
Right.
However, I can tear that home down, clear the lot, turn it into a mobile home park or anything,
Mm-hmm.
and just rent those lots out to people. And that's passive income without me having to do anything else.
Right.
It's just, we have to be strategic and look for ways to do it, because there are ways to, to invest in real estate.
Yeah.
And like those, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, educate yourselves, right? Because that's really what we're talking about here.
Yes.
Like, read up on this stuff in terms of looking at some sources. I mean, several have been mentioned here tonight, but definitely making yourself aware and increasing your your understanding of how all of this works, so it won't be as intimidating for you.
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right. Brittany, she gave us a scripture. She said, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I Coinbase USDC. Now tell us about that, Ozzy, because I'm not familiar. Are you familiar with that Coinbase USDC, Mary?
I am a little bit, but not much.
Okay. All right. I'm not familiar, Ozzy. So enlighten us. All right. Bonita said, love it. Princess, yes, real estate, flipping and fixing it up and renting it out. That's a master plan indeed.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. So Brittany says, sow then harvest. Sow as much as you can. God's principles are promises. Indeed. Agreed. Agreed. So, all right. We've talked stocks, bonds, CDs, mutual funds, money markets, real estate, anything else as it relates to investing?
Um, that's a great start.
Okay, that's a good start. All right, fine. All right, well, let's move on to insurance because I know that is all up in your wheelhouse. So tell us about insurance. Oh, wait a minute. I see Court just put a question up. He said, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin is very expensive. I mean, look, I haven't invested in Bitcoin. I'll just say that much. But I would advise you and anyone else, if you're interested in investing in Bitcoin, just do the research and see if that works for you.
All right. Very good. All right. So let's move on to insurance. Talk to us about, I guess, types of insurance and what we should be looking for when we are in the market to purchase insurance.
Okay. So with life insurance, you have term life insurance, and that the term insurance policies are 10, they could be 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or 30 years. And basically what that means is those policies will be in effect for that specific amount of time. And if you outlive those, then that policy is no longer in effect, and you'll have to get a policy. You'll have to get more insurance at your new age and your new health condition. Term policies are going to be cheaper than whole, but they don't accumulate cash value. Whole policies, on the other end, they do accumulate cash value, and they're going to be a little more expensive. However, you can use those policies, if structured correctly, to become your own bank, for your family to become their own bank. Borrow from it. And how that works is anything you borrow from your policy, let's say, God forbid, you borrow from it and you pass away before you pay it back. That amount will just be taken out of your death benefit before your beneficiary gets the remaining. However, you will have utilized and taken advantage of that cash value while you are alive. Another caveat to whole life insurance policies is, yes, it accumulates cash value. Let's say you don't use that cash value before you pass away. Well, if you had a $300,000 policy and you may have had $10,000 in cash value that you didn't use, your beneficiary is still only going to get that 300,000. That remaining 10,000 that was accumulated in cash value will stay with the insurance company. Okay, then you have IULs. That's the Index Universal Life. And the difference between an IUL and a whole policy is they both accumulate cash value, but the IUL is attached to the stock market. So when the stock market goes up, your interest rate that's accruing cash value goes up. You have a zero floor, which makes investing in your life insurance policy safer than investing in stocks. So, it's different ways you can utilize that to make it work for you.
Okay.
Then of course you have annuities. So annuities are like they're insurance policies where like if a person had a lump sum of money that they wanted to invest, you could do that one time payment, set it, forget it, and if it's structured correctly, your death benefit increases over time based off of the stock market.
Okay. What was that one that you said that kind of goes up with the stock? What did you go? It was an acronym.
IUL is,
IUL.
and that stands for Indexed Universal Life Insurance.
Okay, got it. All right. Okay. Princess said life insurance I heard is the must have. All right. And Seta said there are a few life insurance policies that pay a dividend into the whole life too. That helps build the cash value over time.
Absolutely.
Okay. So talk to us a little bit about, I mean, you did a little bit, but about some of the nuances in terms, I know you mentioned you can make it your own bank and things of that nature.
So with whole life,
Mm-hmm.
so with whole life, you can use that policy as for retirement. Um, and basically, if your policy, let's say your premium is maybe $100 a month, if you want to overfund your policy each month and pay $300 instead of $100, that's more money that's accumulating at an accelerated rate.
Okay.
Um, you can use it for investing, of course, like we just spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is there a penalty for doing that?
there is no penalty as long as you don't go over. I believe the max now is like 12,000. There's a certain limit that you can't go over, or it would be considered an endowed investment, which would basically make it be, you'll have to pay taxes on that money.
Okay. All right. So retirement, investing, any other uses for whole life policies?
Um, Borrowing from it as you
Okay.
need it.
Gotcha.
And it's important to note that if you borrow from the cash value in your policy, there is, an interest rate that you'll be repaying. So if you borrow 5,000, you may have to repay, your repayment may be like 6,500 or something. I'm just throwing numbers out,
Right.
just to get the point across. But it's definitely important to note that although it is cash that you've accumulated, you still have to pay interest on that money when repaying it.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good to know. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Ozzy came back and said USDC is a United States dollar coin that yields 5.15 APY. It is safe and has no loss or risk. Consider it as a savings. Consider it as a savings away from your bank account.
Mm,
I'm not familiar with that, but definitely we'll look that up. So
absolutely.
y'all check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Benita, there are so many options that I become a bit overwhelmed. Very understandable, Benita. That's why we kind of going through it in terms of the different kind of groupings, but definitely, pace yourself, read up on these things,
Yes.
and don't try not to let it overwhelm you. Try not to.
Yeah, and we try to break it down in the most simplistic form in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it can be a lot of information and it's overwhelming, especially if it's new to you
Yeah.
altogether.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
start small and take gradual steps. And don't
Absolutely.
don't compare yourself to your neighbor's journey, because that only frustrates you more.
Yeah, everybody's journey is different. Princess said, can you withdraw at a certain age with the whole life policy?
When
Are there any age restrictions?
for withdrawing,
Mm-hmm.
no age restrictions.
Okay.
Now, when she says withdrawal, is she referring to surrendering the policy and just getting money from it, or just asking for a cash withdrawal?
I don't know. Princess, let us know if you could specify what do you mean by withdraw at a certain age. All right, Latavius, come on, Florida. Why isn't this information in schools? Home is where the heart is, right? Let's get the ball rolling and let the other states follow. Okay, Latavius.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Absolutely. We definitely need to get these books. I mean, especially the Money Matters A to Z book for kids.
Mhm.
We're on a quest to get that into schools, especially the Title I schools for sure.
Okay, that sounds good. She said, what's the book? So we'll go over them one more time. We did at the very beginning, but we'll go over them in just a little bit. Yuri is on with us. He said, good evening, everyone. Great information. Thank you for being here. Princess said, that's a payday loan. LOL. I don't want to repay repay back anything. All right. And she did clarify cash withdrawal is what she meant by her question. Can you withdraw at a certain age with the whole life?
You can withdraw as soon as you start to accumulate money, and normally the accumulation occurs at the end of every 12 months. So, your cash value may be $2,000 after the first year, but if you take that 2,000 out, um, that's less money that you're gonna have to accumulate more cash value. I mean, yeah, because the cash value is based on the amount of money you have there. However, there are other policies, if structured correctly. That's the caveat. If structured correctly, you can borrow from that money, and it's like you're still accumulating interest as if you never touched it.
Mm, okay, very good.
So that's one of the main differences, with borrowing from your insurance policy versus a payday place, as you referred.
Yes. All right. Benita said, yes, my grandson and I are reading through the book. Wonderful.
Thank you, Benita.
Yes, so that's a great segue for us to reshare what the books are and who they're for. So if you don't mind, again, Mary, just sharing the books. And while you're doing that, I will definitely pull up on the screen how folks can get the book. Hold on, but
Okay.
before you do, Eric said, regarding borrowing from life insurance, will you speak to it not? Will you speak to it not have a credit score qualifier or any other qualifiers? So I think what he's saying is in terms of borrowing from your life insurance policy, whether or not there's a credit score qualifier in order to do that.
So every company is different.
Mm,
However, they don't really care much about your credit score. Now, what I would say is what's most important is your health
mm,
and whether or not you're a smoker, your
okay.
health and your age. And
Health.
if you smoke, of course, your premiums are going to be higher. It's also more costly to insure males versus females. Um,
Really?
yes, because according to research, it's been shown that males have a shorter lifespan than females.
Oh,
Not necessarily saying I agree with it, but that's just how the insurance industry, tailors that. We I've had clients who were not able to get any insurance because they were overweight, or um some other reasons.
okay.
um
Wow.
yeah, but health is definitely a key factor when getting life insurance. Now,
Okay.
there are some companies who exactly, health is important. There are some companies who will still write you if you have health conditions, but there may be a 2-year waiting period, which basically means you can get a policy today and sign up for the policy. If you pass away within the first 2 years, then your beneficiary will only get the premium that you've paid into it plus 10% of that.
Hmm. Okay.
There are some gradual plans as well, same 2-year thing, However, it breaks it down. So if you pass away within the first 6 months of the policy, your beneficiary gets 25%. The first year they get 50%, and so forth and so on. But
Gotcha.
there are ways to do it so that you can find some coverage.
Okay.
It's disheartening to see the cash, I'm not the cash app, but the GoFundMe stuff when it's for us to get
Oh,
some.
we good. I don't know what happened,
Okay.
but we good.
It's so easy for us to get some form of life insurance, even if it's just 5,000 or 10,000. Let's do something.
Yeah. For sure. All right. Seta chimed in and said declines happen for many reasons.
Absolutely.
And Bonita said, "Yep, I found that out one summer when trying to be an insurance agent." Okay. Cool. All right. So yes, please go ahead and share about the books now, if you don't mind.
Okay. So again, this is Money Matters A to Z, the ABCs of financial literacy for kids. And this book is more so for the elementary school kids. It talks about money matters. A is for asset, B is for budget, K is for kidpreneur. So we teach the kids how to, find an asset that they currently have or something they love to do and teach them how to monetize it. Then we have a guide for the parents, and this one teaches parents how to, flow along with the A to Z book for kids, as well as provide additional resources like, opening a high yield interest savings account, other things, other systems they can use to teach kids about money and savings. And then the last book is Using Life Insurance as a Wealth Planning Tool. That's a comprehensive guide. It talks about everything we've gone over with investing and retirement and saving, all wrapped in one.
All right, very good. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And I said I was going to put this up, and I did not. And that was the dynamitekids.org. All of the ways you can reach out and follow, and ways you can get the book, correct?
Yes. And there should be Delta Life.
Oh, that's not the so the Dynamite Kids, is that youth, the children's books they can reach out?
Yes. The children's books, the parents' guide can all be found on our website, www.dynamitekids.org. And you can also go to our link tree at Dynamite Kids Official.
All right, very good. And then the other book, Delta Life.
Yeah, well, all the books can be purchased from that link tree.
Oh, okay, got it. Got it. All right. Well, let me give you an opportunity to give some closing remarks and tell folks how they can connect with you.
Okay. So, again, we want to make sure we are budgeting our money. We're not overspending. We have, certain funds allocated to do what needs to be done when it comes to savings budgeting. Don't compare yourselves with your neighbors, because we each have our own journeys. What works for them may not work for you, especially at whatever place you are. You can connect with me on social media, Facebook, it would be Delta Life Group, Instagram, Delta Life Group _. When it comes to Dynamite Kids, you can reach out to, or you can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, and with the YouTube channel, it's going to be a video for every letter of the alphabet that's in this book. If you go to our YouTube channel now, you can see the video for A is for asset and B is for budget, but we'll definitely have the other 22 coming soon.
All right, very good. So please connect with Miss Mary, as well as get these books. Look, get these books. we've been talking about resources, and this is definitely a resource that you can utilize, not only you, but the young people in your lives. And so, we want to be informed, we want to be educated, and we want to make informed decisions. And so here is an opportunity for us to definitely support what she is doing, but also help us to become better educated. All right, I
Yeah,
see. Go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and if anyone wants to get a quote for life insurance, that's free. You can reach out to me. My assistant is on here as well, and if he could drop the link in or something, I'm not sure how that'll work, but they could also, just reach out to me at Delta Life Group. You can go to our website, deltalifegroup.com.
All right, very good. Benita said Liberty National will write a policy for anyone, but all of your affects how much your policy costs. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the things that we have been talking about, or you've mentioned in terms of your health, your age, male or female, smoker, you know, that sort of thing. Lindora, she responded to Eric, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Carl Palmer Smith is on here.
Hey.
Mary. All right. And Princess, yes, book time. All right. Lindor said, wonderful financial consultation. Answer, Ms. Mary. I love this podcast. Information is much needed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Princess, thank you, Nicole and Mary. Tonight's information was very much needed. Thank you, Princess.
Thank you.
Hopefully, you all found this to be beneficial. Again, a little bit different from kind of what we normally cover, but financial wellness is very important.
Yes.
So again, connect with Mary and get your financial house in order. Right, Mary?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So for those of you who are new to the platform, please subscribe to the Conversations with Nicole Facebook page. I'm sorry, not Facebook page, YouTube channel. We are here most Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and the focus is primarily on mental health and wellness in Black and Brown communities. However, we are taking the next 2 weeks off. So play your favorite Conversations with Nicole show in the meantime while we will be off for the next 2 weeks. And then also tune in to the premiere of season 13, which starts this coming Friday at 9 a.m. on Conversations with Nicole YouTube channel and the Greater Works Network Facebook page. Our first guest is Princess Osley. Today is her birthday. Again, happy birthday, Princess, if you're tuning in. And these are going to be some great shows. We got 10 weeks of episodes, so you don't want to miss it. 9 a.m. for the next 10 weeks on Friday for about 30 minutes. So y'all check it out. And my birthday is Saturday, so celebrate me by watching these shows. Send this to somebody.
Yes.
Comment, like, share, all of the things. Because, again, we're still trying to reach these 4,000 viewing hours on YouTube. So please share this with somebody. Let's keep this conversation going, this very important conversation going around money matters A to Z. All right. So lots of folks chiming in. Set a good and needed conversation. Thank you for sharing good information. Thank you for being here, Seta, and
Thank you.
your knowledge and expertise. Tony Graham, thanks for sharing. Ozzy, good show on money tips. Yes. Malcolm, good information. Thank you. Sheila, thanks again for the great information. Appreciate you. Seta, yeah. Hey, thank you, Seta. All right, y'all. I'm out. We're out. Thank you, Mary, again for being with us and sharing your knowledge and expertise. Very much so appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having me.
My pleasure. All right, y'all. We will see y'all soon. Have a good one. Bye.